All right, guys. So in this video, we're going to use our overpower strategy on GBPJPY. Okay. So as usual, what do? We open up our chart and we go to the 15 minutes time frame. And the next thing is we have to identify a clear trend. Okay. Identify a clear trend. So if you look here, we have a trend here going down. This trend is going down, up, down, up, down, up, down. All right. And then what are we looking for? We're looking for a change of character. All right. A change of character. So if there is a change of character, it will be above here. All right. So you see this level was taken down. All right. Was broken. So this is a change of character. Then the next thing in which we have to ask ourselves is, in this move down, was there an overpowering? And the answer is yes. And what do we mean? An overpowering is usually seen by an engulfing, whereby the sellers or buyers overpowered each other. All right. So if we look at this, there's an engulfing down here. You see this engulfing? This shows us that the sellers were in control at this level. Okay. So they had a big control at this level. And how do we know that? Make sure that the engulfing candle is the body of the engulfing candle is at least twice that of the engulfed candle. All right. That shows us that, hey, sellers were in control at this level. They had a lot of power here. That's why they pushed this market down, which means that if buyers become strong enough to overpower these sellers, okay, then the market is most likely to move up. So our criteria has two conditions. One, there is a change of character here, which occurred at this level, okay, when this level was broken. And number two, there is an overpowering here. These sellers that had this strong force here have been overpowered, all right, when the market broke above it, above this engulfing. So our strategy says that the market is going to move up at least as much as it moved down, okay? So we draw our rectangle and we move it up, and you see that we are sure of this move, okay, to the upside, all right? Okay, so that's our first opportunity here. Now, I'll show you something that or a place you should stay away from in the market. So if you look at this move here, there is a move here, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Then there is a change of character here, all right? However, if you look at this move up here, we cannot see any overpowering, okay? So the first condition of our criteria is met by the fact that there was a change of character here. However, the second condition was not met. Therefore, we won't take the trade. Okay. So if you had taken this trade, it would have still played out, but no. We are looking for something that we are sure of. If we are not sure, we leave it alone. Okay. All right. So moving, if we are taking this trade, assuming you took this trade from here, see this, about 64 pips and about 70 something pips. Okay. You would have still entered, but no, we're not going to take that risk. There was no clear overpowering here. Now let's look for another opportunity. So if we look at this, let's see if we can, if we'll be able to catch this trade. So this Market moved up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay. Then it broke here, but there was no overpowering here. So we are not in the trade. It moved down, moved up. Yeah. So it wasn't very clear. Let's look at where this one stopped. So this broke above here. So we can say it moved down, moved up. Okay. Then when it broke here, that's a change of character. Then we have to go up and find ourselves a clear overpowering. But there was no clear overpowering here. Even though this was an engulfing here, you see this engulfing. However, remember, we say that we are not working with a engulfing that the body is not at least twice. Okay, so we stay away. That would be the best thing to do with this trade. Stay away. We're looking for something that we are fully sure of. So let's look for another opportunity. So another thing you can do is if you are in a trade and another opportunity shows itself, you may close that trade and enter the new one. Okay, you can also do that. But then let's see. Let's look for. We see a clear trend going up here. Let's see if we see an opportunity down here. Okay, so if you look here, there seems to be an opportunity here. This market made a change of character at this level. All right, it moved up, came down, moved up. All right, and then it broke below this level, and we have this engulfing here that was broken. All right, so what it says from our strategy is that this market is going to move down at least this much. Okay, at least this much. So if we draw this down here, you see how much this market moved down. Now, remember what we discussed about placing our stop loss. We say that the best way to place your stop loss is you can place it above here, but the problem is sometimes the institutions may drive the market up just to take people out here. Okay, so the best way to place your stop loss is use this square, all right, to measure from the top. All right, place it at the top and then place your stop loss at the top of that square. The only way it's going to fail is if all hell breaks loose. But at that point, you know that everything has been invalidated. Okay, you will be sure that it's no longer a fake out. All right. So if you want to be aggressive with a high risk, high reward, one thing you can do is you know that once our criteria has been met, for example, in this situation, the sellers have overpowered buyers. You know that at this level, okay, at the level here, this top, buyers are very weak. All right. So this move going up here is unsustainable because our overpower strategy has already played out. All right. But at this point, you know that it hasn't moved this the much we want it to move. You see this? Before it started going up. But we know that at this level, buyers are very weak. So when they keep moving up, as soon as they meet this resistance, the price is going to come crashing down. So one thing you can do is, since we know that this price is going to come down, when it gets to this resistance, we can add to our order. You can open more orders. All right. So you see that this played out nicely. All right. So this shows that our overpower strategy also works on GBPJPY. Now, there are other videos about other pays in which I'll be making. So you may want to go ahead and watch those as well to see that it plays out across all assets, gold, silver, okay, USD, JPY, Euro USD. You may want to go and check that out. So if you have any questions, leave it in the comments and we can talk about it. Thank you.